Hello, my name is Mary Bush, and this is a lesson for a third grade science class titled Climates Around the World. Let's start by looking at the climate in the United States. Above the equator is known as the Northern Hemisphere, and below the equator is known as the Southern Hemisphere. In the Northern Hemisphere, it appears to be colder, and below the equator in the Southern Hemisphere, it seems to be warmer. The United States also goes through climate changes of the seasons. Spring is when the weather is warm but still a little cold. Summer is the warmest of the seasons. Winter is the coldest of the seasons. And fall is in between both of them. Let's now look at the climate in Canada. Canada is above the equator in the Northern Hemisphere, and it appears to usually be colder than the United States. It also goes through the seasons, but they are not as dramatic as the ones in the US. Australia. The winter and summer are in opposite times of the US, so while the US is having summer, Australia is having winter. Australia is also located below the equator in the Southern Hemisphere, so it is usually warmer than it appears to be in the United States. Japan. Japan is the closest temperature similarities to the United States. It goes through the seasons just like the United States and is in the middle of the equator, as you can see, so is the United States. Now let's ask some assessment questions. What country has opposite climates than the United States? Is it A, Japan, B, Canada, or C, Australia? If you chose A, Japan, you are correct. What country is located above the equator and above the United States? Is it A, Japan, B, Australia, or C, Canada? If you chose C, Canada, you are also correct. Does the country that we live in experience seasons? So breaking it down, let's think of what country do we live in. We live in the United States. Do we go through seasons such as fall, spring, winter, and summer? Yes, we do. So the answer is A, yes. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you learned a little bit more about the climates around the world.